What's going on, everybody? Mr. Influenced here, back at it again with a third video of the day. Just came up, well, I came up across this before, but kind of disregarded it until now when I'm realizing that this is actually a big thing and can affect Bitcoin in a very large scale, either bad or good. So I just wanted to bring it to your guys' attention, because if you're holding any altcoin or Bitcoin, if you're holding Bitcoin, if you're holding altcoins, when Bitcoin goes down, alts usually follow up on it. So just want to show you guys what's been going on. So the CBOE is to begin Bitcoin futures trading December 10th. For a person that doesn't know what futures means, basically people will be able to invest into Bitcoin, short Bitcoin, without actually owning the Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure they only need a certain amount of US dollar in their accounts, and they could like trade 100 times that or something like that. So like, let's say they have $1,000, they could probably, I think it works something like this, that they could short with a $100,000 position, pretty much. So this can be really bad. It could bring a lot of manipulation to the market. So let me just go through this and read this. The Chicago Board Options Exchange has announced that its planned Bitcoin futures product will begin trading on December 10th. In a statement published today, the firm said that trading would commence at 5 p.m. CT, with the first full day of trading starting that Monday. Trading on the CBOE Futures Exchange under the XBT ticker, the company added in its release that trading of the futures product would be free through the end of December. The announcement is a notable one, given that a Bitcoin future being launched by CME Group will go live the following week on December 18th. So two exchanges are going to be allowing Bitcoin futures trading. Given the unprecedented interest in Bitcoin, it's vital we provide clients the trading tools to help them express their views and hedge their exposure. We are committed to encouraging fairness and liquidity in the Bitcoin market. To promote this, we will initially offer XBT futures trading for free. The launch confirmation comes months after the Chicago-based exchange first detailed its plan to create a Bitcoin futures product. At the time, in August, the CBOE was working with the New York-based Bitcoin exchange, Gemini, which is run by investors Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, ahead of the launch. The move also comes amid a time of climbing prices of Bitcoin. The cryptocurrency is currently trading at roughly 11,400 as per CoinDesk's Bitcoin price index. Let me show you another article. Hedge funds prepare to trade against Bitcoin. Bitcoin futures trustworthy to investors, says Bandman. A Bitcoin big short is building. The planned introduction of Bitcoin futures contracts at CME Group Inc., CBOE Global Markets Inc., and NASDAQ Inc. will make it much easier to bet on a decline. Hedge funds will have largely stayed on the sidelines or waiting for the Chicago Mercantile Exchange's futures market to open for a fresh opportunity to bet against our cryptocurrency, according to more than half a dozen people trading the assets. The futures reduce the frictions of going short more than they do of going long, so it's probably not bearish, said Craig. The futures reduce the frictions of going short more than they do of going long. A business professor at the University of Houston. Having this instrument that makes it easier to short might keep the Bitcoin price a little closer to reality. Bitcoin has gained millions of percent since it started trading in 2010. An investment of $1 at the beginning would now be valued at more than $1.4 million. A dollar invested in the S&P 500 stock index for the same period would now be worth less than $4, including reinvested dividends. Some see the Bitcoin market as one of the greatest shorting opportunities ever, said Lou Kerner, a partner of Flight VC who invests in the cryptocurrency. You have a lot of zealotry and a lot of people, including me, who think it's the greatest thing to ever happen in the history of mankind. You have a lot of people who think it's a bubble and a Ponzi scheme. It turns out both of them can't be right. For more, Bitcoin heads to Wall Street whether regulators are ready or not. Bitcoin has been especially volatile recently, plunging nearly 20% in less than 90 minutes on November 29th to $9,009 after briefly topping 11,000. First of all, those prices are incorrect. It went to about 8,400 from 11,800, something like that. So you guys are just a little off, Bloomberg. The price has since recovered and was trading at more than $11,332 at 11:42 a.m. in New York on Monday, at 3.9% jump since Friday. CBOE said Monday it will start trading Bitcoin futures on December 10th, while CME's contracts are set to debit on December 18th. NASDAQ is planning to offer futures in 2018. According to a person familiar with the matter, Cantor Fitzgerald, LP's Cantor Exchange is creating a Bitcoin derivative, and startup Ledger X already offers options. Okay, so basically this stuff is bringing an opportunity for people to short Bitcoin. And this is where my prediction of 1,200 comes in. If you look at Bitcoin, and I've said this so many times, you see this big jump right here from about 200 to 1,000. I think it went to 1,200. You see that big jump? It's a 6 times jump. 1,200. You see this? This is a little more than a 6 times jump, but pretty much the same thing. And then you got this big thing that comes into play. Graphs repeat themselves. I'm not a financial advisor, but graphs do repeat themselves. And unfortunately, it looks like we've had a very great run, but it looks like a big dip can come very, very quick. And if these guys on Wall Street get the opportunity to short, these guys will all get together and short the hell out of this thing. Now, the only way that it can, the only thing that can go like amazingly right is if there's more buys than shorts. So it's all up to the people, I guess. And if we do beat these Wall Street guys, then we get a lot more money in our market and will help us grow more. But I don't know. It's hard to say. You guys should comment below what you guys think about this whole Bitcoin futures thing. Let me just see if there's a like a explanation for, okay, what are Bitcoin futures? The concept of Bitcoin futures contracts explained. On the surface, Bitcoin futures are a simple concept. A Bitcoin futures contract revolves around users agreeing to buy or sell a specific amount of cryptocurrency once it reaches a predetermined price on a future date. The concept of futures contract has been around for many decades now, and they will continue to exist for quite some time to come. It's a great way to transfer risk or even take on risk, depending on how aggressively you want to trade. A buyer of a futures contract buys the right to sell Bitcoins at a specific price. The seller agrees to accept the Bitcoins at a specific future date for that particular price. Similar to margin trading, one party can go so short and the other can go long. More specifically, the buyer often takes a short position in the hopes of buying set amount of Bitcoins at a more favorable price. The seller takes a long position in the hopes of fetching a higher price per Bitcoin at the settlement date. A Bitcoin futures contract can be traded on the platform it is created on during the lifetime of the agreement. These contracts also have an inherent value depending on the expected price when the contract duration comes to an end. Parties can also post money in escrow to reduce their counterparty risk during the futures contract duration. This is usually only done when the price starts showing definitive momentum toward either the long or short position held by either the buyer or seller. What makes Bitcoin futures contracts so appealing is how neither party is agreeing to complete the transaction immediately. Aggressive traders will often seek to leverage their position by posting collateral or a small portion of the original futures contract cost. Leveraging such a position can yield far higher earnings, but it can also result in significant losses. Leverage trading is always a risky business, especially when gambling on the futures contract associated with that position. It is not hard to see why Bitcoin futures contracts have become quite popular, especially on the OKCoin and BitMEX exchanges. Speculators are quite keen on Bitcoin price volatility, which means they will open short and long positions multiple times every week. Successful traders who often use technical analysis to predict market movements will often make a small profit for every Bitcoin futures contract they hold. However, the true Bitcoin believers will increase their amount of contract every so often. This is mostly done by people who think the Bitcoin price will appreciate significantly in the future. There are some large Bitcoin futures contract holders on these exchanges as of right now. We are talking about whales who hold several thousands worth of contracts, which is quite a gutsy move. So as of right now, there is places that you can short Bitcoin, but not for the average investor, like the hedge fund guys and the Wall Street guys. So the Wall Street guys are not supportive of Bitcoin, so their main goal is to short Bitcoin. And now that they're going to have the opportunity to, can mess us up quite a bit and can take us from this price. Let's just hope that this goes good. We'll see what's going to happen on the 10th. I'll leave a link in the description to these articles so you guys can check them out. Yeah, let's see what happens on the 10th, and let's see what this exactly means to Bitcoin, because even though CBOE isn't as big as the CFE or NASDAQ won't be releasing Bitcoin futures until 2018, so we don't have to worry about that yet. But we do have two major exchanges allowing like big positions to short, which is not the greatest thing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll see you guys in the next video.